Joining me on the broadcast for this story are Ambassador Deepak Vora and Major Mohammed Ali Shah. A very good morning.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Always a pleasure to be on Newsx early in the morning, learn from you and learn from the outstanding Major Mohammed Ali Shah, who is brilliant. Let me tell you something very interesting, Major Shah. My 8-year-old granddaughter, Sophia, who lives in New York, called me yesterday. She says, Nana, what is the problem with Ukraine? She has a Ukrainian friend in school. So I said that it's a clash of egos and interests. There are no Indians and no cowboys. 2 years ago, sir, you might recall that the US had installed THAAD missiles in South Korea.
Major Mohammed Ali Shah, Ukrainian president warns of attack. Stock markets are on edge. And US asked its citizens to fly out. How concerning is the situation according to you?
Well, it is certainly concerning because when the president of a country makes a tweet and puts up a status like that on Facebook, it's alarming for the entire world. But now, as Ambassador Deepak Vora correctly put it in perspective, that Vladimir Zelensky's job was to make people laugh. And I was having a good laugh over that. Yes, I mean, it is actually alarming, also not just about the situation, but it is also alarming of the head of a state putting up such a post on social media. So the world gets into a panic now. Now, ultimately, if you see, as Ambassador Deepak Vora, once again, I echo his words, and he literally stole words out of my mouth. Now, what is Russia's interest in Ukraine? Russia already got Crimea in 2014, and of course, when the gas pipeline, who benefits? Ultimately, it's going to be Russia only, no? And then also, if you notice, where is the attention which should be towards China actually, which is where the real evil lies? That should be the center of attraction. Everyone should be discussing that, but no one is discussing that. Everyone is talking about the Russia-Ukraine crisis, which I perceive, which I feel nothing going to come out of it. There's not going to be any war or anything, and there's going to be a lot of talk of would it result to a third world war if that happens, and what would happen? I feel nothing will happen. The German chief of the naval staff, he was here about 2 weeks back and by the invitation of IDSA, and he spoke in a very informal way, and he also mentioned not to quote him, but he was so right actually. He only spoke the truth. He said that Russia would never invade into Ukraine, into Kyiv, so need not worry on that account. All Vladimir Putin wants is respect. So fine, there is this arm twisting, and yes, the satellite images also show that it is not just 1 lakh troops, it is more than that. It's 1.30. That's 1,30,000 troops, which is a large number. But let me tell you, even this number of deployment is nothing as compared to what actually China is trying to arm twist and bully us and trying to show their aggression. No one's talking about that again. So actually now, in the long run, who benefits from all this? Russia, Ukraine, Germany, America? No. It's going to be China. It's going to be China which is actually going to be benefiting from this. And now let's wait and watch. And I do not know that, he has predicted the date 16th February. That is like 2 days after Valentine's Day. So let's see. I mean, if it is not, that is, you can take it from me. And my analysis says that such an attack is not going to happen tomorrow.
Of course.
People can just relax on that.
International events are like butterflies, crisscrossing the international media spotlight. Once they get into the spotlight, everybody talks about it. But as Major Saab very appropriately said, agar usne wahan pe 140,000 kiye, the Chinese have much more on our border. No one is talking about that.
We take a look at more updates coming in. Now, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced that US is temporarily relocating its embassy operations from Kyiv to Lviv in western Ukraine due to the dramatic acceleration in the build-up of Russian forces. Now, Major Mohammed Ali Shah, your take on it. Now, US going ahead to temporarily relocate its embassy operations. Do you think that US is hyping it up and the crisis is not actually that serious?
Oh, well, they have to take it seriously because at the end of the day, if God forbid something happens, it will come on US, on Joe Biden. What did you do? What action did you take? You had the intelligence input that really happens all the time. Now, as Ambassador Deepak Vora very correctly and in a very apt manner put it in perspective, as per the Article 5 of the NATO Act, if such a thing happens, which means now all the countries would unite. So you think Russia, Vladimir Putin, is going to be foolish enough to face consequences from 27 countries directly? and furthermore countries indirectly. He would not be. He would only try to arm twist, and these are pressure tactics again from US side, which is trying to, leaving Kiev, and they've asked their diplomats and every other staff to actually vacate as soon as possible. It's an emergency situation, and that situation is being created in a way. So it is not as grave it is. Nobody wants a war at the end of the day. Being a soldier who has fought at the line of control, who has been deployed at the Indo-Pak border 30 meters away, I've had first-hand experience of that. So the bloodshed that I have seen, nobody wants, as a soldier, we are prepared to fight and lay down our lives. There's no doubt about that if we get orders. But let me tell you one thing. At the end of the war, a mother waits for her son, a father waits for his son, a brother waits for his brother, a friend waits for his friend. It's the politicians at the end of the day who shake hands. Now, giving a reference to the post of Zelensky, of Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, when he mentioned the date, that 16th February, Russia is going to attack them. Let me tell you, on the small little, on the lighter side, there's a post of a boy who's hiding under a table, and his mother is saying, "Beta, the army's come to recruit you after seeing your bravery on Facebook." So these are keypad warriors. So these are people who actually create panic and who actually get all the eyeballs on them, but nothing of that sort, as Ambassador Deepak Bora and Group Captain B.N. Jha also correctly said. Ultimately, it's all, see, jo garajte hain, wo baraste nahi, jo baraste hain, wo garajte nahi. Barking dogs seldom bite. So it is about, yes, in a way, I would say it is about hype as well. Yes, that is being created. The whole world is diverting their attention. Everyone is actually looking. In fact, a wise man sometime back told me, my driver, though we have all heard, my driver had not heard of Ukraine, in fact. But now he's asking me, "Saab, ye Ukraine kya ho raha hai wahan pe?" So it is, the whole attention is actually being diverted over there. So that is, I don't think it should be, what one should be actually be more concerned is about the aggression of China. Look what they're doing in the South China Sea. Look what they're doing at the Indo-China border. The entire 3,488 kilometer stretch. They've not a single inch that they have spared where they would not come with their misbehavior. They did Islamic slicing in Nepal last year. They were trying the same stunts with Bhutan. They are trying the same stunts all over. They, in fact, what is their friendship with Pakistan? It's all about matlab. It's not any unconditional love. It is about, because of the CPAC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. They have investments over there. So ultimately, Ukraine and Russia crisis is not really, we should not really be much perturbed. Yes, people are scared that, people are not very scared, they're concerned, I would say, that if it could lead to a world war, then what will happen? Firstly, even if that happens, I'm giving the benefit of doubt over here. God forbid, if Russia does invade into Ukraine, it would not lead to a world war also. And ultimately, I see, though yes, this is a long drawn crisis, it will not end overnight or in a matter of a year. It's a long drawn crisis, but in the long run, nothing will happen. Peace will prevail.
All right. I thank all my guests for joining us on the broadcast and sharing their view on this escalating crisis.